Satisfaction guaranteed. Use code radio for 20% off at checkout.
I bought football tickets for my husband's birthday, and now I'm in a football bubble. All I see online are articles and ads about football. I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
As a marketer, you want to reach everyone. Adults, teens, millennials. But it's not like these groups all hang out in the same place, right? Actually wrong. They're all right here, listening to radio commercials just like this one. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM/FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Paid for by GovMint.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-973-3098 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-973-3098. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-3098 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-3098.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Going forward, both teams in NFL playoff games guaranteed a possession in overtime. The rule proposal approved today by NFL owners. Regular season overtime does stay the same, which allows a team to win on the opening possession if it scores a touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo might be hanging around San Francisco for the 2022 season. Coach Kyle Shanahan today at the NFL owners meetings admitted he sees a scenario where the veteran quarterback is on the Niners roster this upcoming season. Trade talk slowed by Jimmy G's shoulder surgery. The 49ers should not be looking to move on from Garoppolo too soon, advises ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
It's a 17-game season. I want depth at the most critical position. Unless I am blown away by draft choice compensation, I'll go into the season with two guys that I like and bring Trey Lance along slowly and then move on from Jimmy G next year.
ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum on Get Up and asked who his starter would be if Garoppolo and Trey Lance are on the roster. Shanahan declined to say. NBA, Lakers LeBron James, Anthony Davis doubtful tonight in Dallas, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
How would you love a chance to save some money on car insurance? Geico can help. Switch today and see all the ways you could save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get yourself into the chat. You can vote on today's most overrated bands bracket Sweet 16 matchup. and, of course, weigh in on all the topics of the day. It is, it's only, we only have like 5 more days. 5 more days till the greatest basketball game you've ever seen in your life. I can't wait for it. So excited. Saturday night.
I am rather excited as well. But
what?
Just, okay,
don't try to rain on the parade.
Temper the expectations.
Don't try to rain on the parade.
I feel like Duke and Carolina fans are hyping this into something that it cannot possibly live up to.
I disagree. I disagree because every time we get together, it's a big deal, and now it's the biggest deal ever.
Yeah, and what happens if this is a 15-point game?
If it's a 15-point game, I don't like it for the Tar Heels.
And as well, you shouldn't.
If you told me that's the way this is going to go down, that's going to be the margin, I don't like it for the Tar Heels. But, of course, we will have coverage coming up the rest of the week of North Carolina and Duke again Saturday night. In the Final Four, you'll hear the game right here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy. We are live from the Ingles Studio. We're always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices. Love the savings. In fact, I had to post it on Facebook this morning. Enjoyed my savings at the pump. I mean, anytime you can get a break on gas, Ingles is there to back you up. You spend in the store, and they'll give you that sweet little 5 cents off for every 100 Ingles Advantage points that you get. I had a $3.36 on gas this morning. I felt like I had accomplished something for the day.
As well, you should.
Yeah, exactly, because you see all these awful posts from around the country of people paying like $5 and $7 for gas. Feel pretty good about it. Low prices, love the savings. Ingles Supermarkets, your one-stop shop for everything that you need. All right, we have win futures being put out by Vegas in the NFL. So we're going to go through it and say, what's the futures bet for the upcoming NFL season?
And some of them are absolutely insane.
Insane? You think the numbers are way off?
There's one that's way too high. For what this is, you have to understand that it is for what this exercise is. No team has more than 11.5.
Okay.
No team has fewer than 4.5. There's still too many things that can happen. You're not going to catch a 2.5 here, and you're not going to catch a 13 here.
Right.
The fact that there are 2 teams in the NFL that are sitting at 11.5. The Buffalo Bills, I get. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers might be the dumbest thing anybody's ever said to me in my life.
Jeremy on our first podcast that we ever did together, our Fantasy Game Time Decisions podcast, he used to always make his bets, and he would yell it when it was crazy. And under 11.5
is insane.
Yeah, it is.
And I'll tell you why.
Well, it's especially when you look at the schedule.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the problem. But the division they play in is terrible. I don't disagree with you.
Yay, four wins. Congratulations.
And then,
outside of that, you play a murderer's row. Or I guess I should say we play a murderer's row.
Outside of their division, they play the Packers, Chiefs, Rams, Bengals, Seahawks, Ravens. Cardinals, 49ers, Steelers, Browns, Cowboys. You name me the bad team on that schedule.
The NFC South teams, we got demolished this year.
Yeah,
Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Our matchups with the divisions this year ended up being the NFC West and the AFC North. For all of us in the division. Is not good for any of us.
Ew.
Yeah. Very gross.
That was my number one prevailing takeaway was if you and look, I know Vegas does this sometimes to bait people.
Sure.
That's 100% what this is. The Tampa Bay lovers will bet over on Tom, and then the sharps will go, that doesn't make even the vaguest bit of sense.
No, I am, I try to be objective about my team at times. Unless we're in the
miserably
playoffs.
the vast majority of the time.
Unless we're in the playoffs, and then I'm all in on my team. But yeah, I see very little chance of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going over 11.5. So there you go. There's your first tip of the day. Under the 11.5 wins for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'll tell you another a little tidbit of what Vegas is telling you. Losing Davante Adams cost Green Bay exactly nothing. They're at 11, and I think it's too low.
It could be.
I think it's too low. They're going to win 4 games literally by being clinically alive in their division.
Sure.
And their schedule is not nearly as daunting as yours is.
No, it is not.
But that should tell you everything you need. You want to know why I poo-pooed the Tyreek Hill thing the day it happened?
What?
Where are the Dolphins now? Oh, look, we had such a great offseason. We're so good now. Vegas has you at 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. And do you know why? Because Tua Tagovailoa is still your quarterback. You can put all the toys around him you want to, and it will be the sweetest toy chest in the world. Unfortunately, you don't know how to play with a lot of them.
A guy says in the comments on YouTube that Green Bay will be bad. No, they won't.
I'm going to say they won't.
No, they won't. Because here's the thing: they've now painted themselves into a corner where they have to do the thing that they've been putting off for years now, which is drafting a wide receiver. Dare I say 2 wide receivers at the top of their draft class. I still believe that's the path they should go down. Now, it is
2 of the first 4.
Yeah, it is a very full wide receiver class, so they won't necessarily have to.
This is a great year to need a guy that plays out of the slot. You need somebody that plays on the outside, it's a little thin.
But Green Bay is not going to be bad. As long as they have Aaron Rodgers, and in free agency they went and did everything defense. You know, the Devondre Campbell and trading Zadarius Smith and keeping Preston Smith.
They didn't trade him, they cut him.
Well, they cut him, whatever.
There's a large difference. One of them you get something, and one of them you get nothing.
I understand. But what I'm saying is they focused on the defensive side, keeping the pieces that they could in-house in free agency. Now the draft has to be about loading up on offense. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Green Bay will find weapons for Aaron Rodgers. There's no way that Aaron Rodgers signed up for this. No, knowing, because remember, that's the story. Aaron Rodgers knew that Davante Adams did not want to be in town anymore, regardless of him coming back.
Vegas is the great truth serum. And just since Green Bay was the first team mentioned,
yeah,
here's what Vegas told you. They're going to win this division in a walk. Minnesota's better than you think they are, and the Bears and Lions are poopy.
Yes.
I can't believe the Lions are at 6. I saw that and went, you think they're a game and a half better than the Texans? I'm not sure that they're a game and a half better than Texas.
Oh, I think there's a chance. Oh, they're
certainly improved. But what changed? This is what always makes me laugh about these lines. Detroit was horrible last year. They were competitive. Yeah, they lost the vast majority of those games.
Yeah.
And now they're at 6. Why? What in the world could you possibly be looking at that, oh, yeah, they'll win 6 games?
Well, they're looking at that they're going to beat the Bears.
Once.
Which is not, Yeah.
I'll agree you might beat them once.
They could beat the Vikings, maybe.
I mean,
maybe
they could
sneak up
sprout
on
wings and fly. I don't think
come on. You think the Vikings are that much better?
They could actually put a lion on the field, and I think that would give them a drastically better chance of beating the Vikings.
You got the football team. You got the Jaguars. You got the Jets on that schedule. The Panthers.
I'm still waiting for you to tell me the team they're going to beat.
Oh, stop that.
Jaguars. I'll give you that one.
Because
if I'm not mistaken, they come to you think they're going to come to New York and beat the Jets? Good luck with that.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm going to disagree for the square.
Oh, let's do it. Let's check in on our hometown team, the Carolina Panthers. Vegas doesn't think too much of the Carolina Panthers, and it's probably a lot to do with the fact that, you got questions at quarterback, and you're still, you're playing patty cake right now with Cam Newton again. For some reason.
I'm not acknowledging that.
You're not acknowledging that?
No,
you're going to move right past it?
I'm not.
Scott Fitterer talking about there's still a place on this team for Cam Newton.
Yeah, in the crowd. There's a great spot for him. It's row 104, seat 6.
Cam Newton told, Adam Schefter that he talked to today, and said that he had plenty of offers. That he was just looking for the right situation.
Here's my thing. I've seen that talked about a lot. What was he supposed to say?
Yeah.
Adam Schefter, I'm sure, reached out to him. When was the last time you saw an NFL player say, I had to call Verizon to make sure my phone still worked? because no one has called. Because that's exactly where Cam Newton is.
I've got several teams that are interested. I just want a fair chance to compete, fair chance to play. No, don't think so. Like, you're coming in to be a backup for somebody if you're coming in to be on somebody's team at all.
The bad thing for Carolina is that they got Will Smith.
Oh,
they were Chris Rock, and the NFL was Will Smith because they got smacked. That schedule is ugly.
Mm-hmm. Again, I told you that the NFC South teams are matched up with the NFC West and the AFC North. So that's, I mean that's 6 guaranteed powerhouse teams that you're going to play, throughout the year.
And the other 2 are not terrible.
No, you got the Seahawks and you got the Pittsburgh Steelers as the outliers of that group. Yay.
That's your 2. Hey, we might win those.
Right. And, of course, you got the games within the division for the Carolina Panthers. So the Falcons and the Saints might be able to steal one of those games against the Saints. But the over-under is 6 on the Panthers. And the more I look at this schedule, I go, I don't know that they can hit it. I think if you force me to put money on it today, I'm taking the under.
If you told me I could get the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers combined at 14.5, I'll take the under aggressively. I don't know who they're supposed to beat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why everybody's propping up Tampa Bay, is because you're going to win the division so comfortably. I got that. I fully understand that. You are 4 full games ahead of all 3 other teams in your division.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't disagree with that. But what I always take away from this is that I start ranking these teams. What is it where does Vegas think these teams fall in? Because this is a really good indicator of who does Vegas believe in, who do they not believe in. In this very division, New Orleans Saints, everybody keeps telling me I'm crazy that they're going to fall off a cliff. We're 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
They have the same number of wins as the New York Giants. That should really tell you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm. A better team or a team that good. Take what they were last year. Take the New Orleans Saints, what they were last year, and if they got an average schedule, middle of the road in the NFL, then maybe they can get to 8 wins, be just like they were last year, flirting with the playoffs at the end of the year. Not this schedule. No. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
The worst team the Saints play that's not in their division is the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles are probably 2.
I would agree with that. Because they have to play, well, let's just go down here. Home games are against obviously the division, and then the Rams, Seahawks, Vikings, Bengals, Ravens, Raiders.
Scattered, smothered, and covered.
Yep. You got one chance. You got one chance
like
to pick
drunk
up
guys hash browns. You are going to absolutely get eviscerated the second you hit that the field.
You got one chance, maybe 2. I mean, I'll throw the Vikings in there just because they can be a hot or cold team. So you might have a chance to win 2 non-division games at home as the New Orleans Saints. And then you go on the road to the Eagles, 49ers, Cardinals, Browns, Steelers. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And the Carolina Panthers are in the same boat. I mean, you get the Broncos at home as like the outlier game.
The outlier to what?
Of the divisions. This was their extra game.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were saying that was when they could win.
No.
Like, did you get drunk before this show?
No.
Because that's the only way you could possibly say that out loud.
No, that's the extra like outlier game. Home schedule for the Panthers goes Falcons, Saints, Bucks. Cardinals, Browns, Broncos, Lions, Steelers, 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Again, congratulations, you get the Lions. And then, the 2 winnable games in your division at home. Your away schedule goes Falcons, Saints, Bucks, Ravens, Bengals, Rams, Giants, Seahawks. So 4? Are we saying 4 possible, no doubt, put them like maybe count them toward the ledger?
I was about to say, I'm not going to say no doubt anything.
No.
I'm going to say no doubt you're not getting to 6.
That's why I'm thinking
and
under.
If you're a Matt Rule hater, you should be so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Cunningham said in our comments, the schedule last year was set up for Matt Rule to succeed, and we got embarrassed. Correct. And the reason he didn't get fired this year is because he is going to be the sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm. and everybody in Carolina is going to be better off for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely they will. Now, if you want to know just exactly how relevant this is, we did this same show last year. Do you remember how many teams we had make the playoffs? Of the 14 we said were playoff teams when we did this last year, do you know how many made the playoffs?
I say it's probably 12.
It was 11.
I would say we're close.
It was 11, and we got 6 or 7 in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
The one we didn't was the one that went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Thanks, Bengals.
Right. Thanks, Bengals, where we had you at 2 wins last year. The Falcons are in the same boat. 5.5 is the over-under on that. I'm going under.
I am too.
Yeah. Thank you.
I really wanted to disagree, but I couldn't.
I've got under on everybody in the NFC South.
I genuinely think 9 wins might win that division. In a walk.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a Saints fan, you can be real happy that Taysom Hill's going back to tight end.
Yes. Because Andrew Dalton.
3 weeks or 3 months ago called. You're welcome. Now you have Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, but now we know. But now we know that Taysom Hill's leverage was all on Sean Payton.
Yeah.
He had
the
dirty pictures
were of Sean Payton. No doubt.
Right.
Because the minute Sean Payton left, everybody in that front office went, we're done with that.
Right.
That cute little experiment where you run the veer, we're done with that.
Yeah, we're no longer going to be doing the Taysom Hill experiment. Schedule lays out horribly for the NFC South this year. But again, if you're in a division that's rebuilding, then that's pretty good. Because that means a lot of high draft picks, a lot of opportunity for you to bring in major talent next year. Major talent. For the Carolina Panthers, the Atlanta Falcons, and the New Orleans Saints. You know, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are, one of the favorites in the NFC, they're still going to get 10 wins maybe. But that's going to be a struggle. You got to stay perfectly healthy, and you got to hope that the draft goes well and the defense can hold up. Because we face a gauntlet as NFC South teams, folks. It's just the way it is. We got more futures coming your way right after the break. Don't forget, join us in the Sportsocracy on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button so you can get into the chat. You can cast your vote. The poll is now up. The most overrated bands bracket Sweet 16 matchup between Coldplay and PHISH.
There's not a winner here. Neither one of them should be knocked out of this because they are both horrible.
Well, you got to whittle it down when you get to the Elite Eight. This is like Miami against Iowa State. Somebody's got to make it to the next round.
That's the best analogy you've made in 2 years of doing this show. It's all downhill from here.
You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little milder for us tomorrow. Rain in Wednesday night and Thursday. Clouds increasing here tonight, cool near 40. Mostly cloudy skies for us on Wednesday with a few peeks of sun possible, but it will be limited. Breezy and milder, low to mid-60s tomorrow afternoon. Rain, rumbles of thunder Wednesday night, upper 50s. More rain Thursday, mainly in the morning. Highs Thursday, up around 70. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex 12-Hour. Mucinex DM's bilayer tablet allows for immediate and extended release, relieving both wet and dry coughs and loosening chest congestion for 12 hours. Mucinex is your trusted partner to help relieve cough and chest congestion and get your body back into control. Available at Walmart.
Calling all jokesters, April Fools, and all-around punny people. This week on the free iHeartRadio app, the joke's on you. No, literally, we're handing you the mic to tell us your favorite joke. Just open the free iHeart app and tap 24/7 Comedy Radio. When you're ready for the spotlight, tap the mic, record your joke, and send it. Then listen to Hear Yourself on 24/7 Comedy Radio all day Friday. Plus, we've got thousands of laugh-out-loud comedy podcasts for you to binge anytime, anywhere. Stop laughing. That was serious.
iHeartRadio. News is happening now.
Look at what's making headlines around the world.
And this is a significant moment.
Whenever it happens, wherever you are, NBC News is streaming free on NBC News Now.
Mattress Firm's best deals are happening now. Save up to $500 on top-selling brands. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchases. And don't forget hot buys like up to 50% off select queen beds. Shop now and save.
The job market is competitive right now, so you need to be competitive to attract top talent. If you're trying to fill open positions at your business, iHeartMedia is here to help. Use radio and digital targeting to find fresh, passive candidates currently in the workforce. These candidates are listening right now, looking for new opportunities. Together, we can let the community know you're hiring. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses.
Detergent, $12.98 each. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It makes you so happy.
What is that?
If you're on, if you're on the recreationals.
What in the world are you playing right now?
That's PHISH.
They win. I want to change my vote. I voted for Coldplay because I at least knew a song of theirs. And it's eliciting this weird grin out of you that is going to haunt my nightmares forever.
I have. That's one of the things. Like I can normally get down with anything. Like I can find something that a band does that I like. More often than not. There are a few exceptions. Florida Georgia Line, can't stand it. As soon as I hear it, I'm just out. This one, PHISH, I can't. I mean, they had one song called Bounce Around the Room that I only liked the live version, and the only reason I really liked it was because I worked for an alternative station and you could put it on and leave and go get lunch, and then come back, and the song will still be going. PHISH.
Ugh.
Most overrated bands bracket. Vote right now in our Sweet 16 matchup. We got Coldplay against PHISH. And PHISH really hasn't had I don't think they've had a challenge yet in the bracket. There's a strong hatred for the PHISH. Coldplay, pretty much the same thing, though. We're talking about over-unders, futures bets in the NFL. We had, DraftKings put out their win total projections for the year, or their lines, I guess, for the year. It's not really projections.
Win futures.
Right. They're trying to see where they can get some action this year. And as Jeremy said at the top of the show, two teams at 11.5 wins total for the season, over or under. One of them was the Green Bay Packers. The other one was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which I don't see a snowball's chance in Atlanta, as Jeremy likes to say, of that happening, of going over 11.5 wins for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers based on the schedule and how it laid out. I don't know. I mean, some people want to call me a fair weather fan of you look at that schedule and you tell me where there's 12 easy wins that you'd be willing to put money on the over 11.5 wins. But some of the best teams in the NFL got the hardest schedules this year.
I mean, that's the way it should be. That's because Tom Brady's no longer in New England, so the unholy trinity of somehow you can go to the Super Bowl and still have the easiest schedule in the league.
And when they said they did that last year, gave him one of the easiest schedules in the league, and then he retired, and they were like, oh, good, we can slap Tampa Bay again. And then 40 days later, he's coming back, and NFL was like, oh, sorry, Tom, we screwed you this year.
We have our first one of these of the day.
I'm your huckleberry.
It's from Rex B. He said, I appreciate all the work you've done improving your show, even if technology isn't always your friend. And technology is very rarely your friend, especially me today. Because apparently it's not just technology. Water heaters apparently are not my friend. Those are really expensive? I did not know that until today.
Yep, they are.
one wire. All kinds of monies. Was not expecting that. It's made it a less than ideal day and has made me very angry.
Well, and see, that's why we can. That's why we can just chill out here for the next 2 hours before you have to go do that. I guess we're down to an hour and a half now.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I mean, I'm sure if you've watched this show for any period of time or listened to the show for any period of time, you know I am about as handy as an empty box of Kleenexes. So I'm not doing it. And the person fixing it could have told me this cost $11,000, and I would have gone, I mean, I think I'm going to get a second estimate, but if they tell me the same thing, looks like that's what I'm paying.
I mean, I guess that's what it costs. The 5 toughest schedules based on last year's win percentages in the NFL this year belong to the Cardinals and the Rams. Well, the Rams are the hardest. Then the Cardinals, the Bengals, the Buccaneers, and the 49ers. That's your top 5 toughest schedules based on the outcomes of last year, which is a little flawed because we know teams change year to year, but still, that's pretty tough. And then you throw in the fact if you just go a little bit further down that toughest schedule list, you got the Chiefs and the Raiders right there behind that group of 5. So you got 7 of the best teams in the NFL that are facing daunting schedules this year. If you're a fan of a team in the NFC East, congratulations. Your entire division has the easiest schedules this year.
Mm-hmm. You've got the Cowboys at 10.5 wins, the Eagles at 8.5, the Commanders at 7.5, and the Giants at 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that I don't like the under on every one of those except the Eagles.
Okay.
When we started this show, Justin Parton came along and said, apparently Colin Cowherd said the Commanders were going to win this division.
It's just hilarious to me.
It's not that hilarious to me. I get it. I think the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Cowboys are going to finish within about 2 games of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Eagles are going to win that division. And I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but here we are.
I can't either. But depending on what they do in the draft, I mean, they would have to really royally screw up in the draft for that to be bad.
Under 10.5 wins for the Dallas Cowboys, probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite number of all the ones that I've seen come out on the high side.
Mm-hmm.
I like that even better than under on Tampa Bay.
When I looked at it and went through the schedule, I was like, I don't know how I can get there with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how I can get over the 10.5 number.
I think getting over it is
insane. Because it's the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, even if you had faith in them, are you not to the point where you're like, they're going to screw it up?
The difference between Dak Prescott with his line intact and not intact is drastic.
Mm-hmm.
And you've lost La'el Collins and Connor Williams. To me, that is the cinch bet of all of this. And it makes me really want to aggressively go under on Dallas and over on Philadelphia.
Okay.
I mean, because somebody's going to win that division with 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah,
the schedule's terrible. So you're not winning this at 8 and 9. This is not going to be another one of those, hey, somebody below 500 won the NFC East.
No, because their games, they've got games featured against the Bears, the Lions, the Texans. Ooh, you got the Jaguars thrown in there. There are a lot of gimme games in their non-divisional schedule. But then you also have, the Packers are there, and the Vikings are not going to be easy by any stretch. They face the Titans. They face the Rams. They got some serious games going. I'm under as well, and I just put a little asterisk out beside it because Cowboys are going to cowboy.
Oh yeah. Oh, to me, this is a season that sets up to be really bad in Dallas because you've lost all those pieces that nobody talks about. The Randy Gregory thing. I'm actually not averse to the fact that you didn't re-sign him at the cost.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Stephen Smith's explanation of, well, that allowed us to bring back Dorrance Armstrong and Leighton Vander Esch. I would have kept that to myself.
Yeah.
I would not have said that out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you trying to spin things for the Cowboys, no, let's.
There are times people in front offices should just not talk. Like, let's just walk right past that. Randy Gregory got upset at the offset language you have in virtually every contract. And you know what? We're going to use that money. For what? I forgot. I don't know, because I do not want to put names on this because you will make fun of me.
All right, let's get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Oh, we got rule changes coming in the NFL. We'll talk about that coming up later on in the program. But we also have more rule changes being played with in baseball. And now we're not talking pitch clocks. This is the designated hitter. Now,
I don't know where this ends, but it's going to make me angry.
Of course it is. Now we're talking about rearranging the bases. They're rearranging the bases in minor league baseball this year. They're going to move second base 13.5 inches.
Oh, when you said rearranging, I thought you meant they were going to put first base at second and second at first and keep third the same, and you just had to run in a big triangle.
That might make them interesting.
It would make it way more interesting to me.
Yeah, you got to run to second first, and then you got to run to third, and then over to first, and then you got to run to third and back home to score.
And you have to drink a beer when you get back to first before you can advance.
Yeah, they're going to be moving second base 13.5 inches. And you know what? It sounds so ridiculous to me that I don't even care why. Like, you could come up with all of the excuses of, oh, well, it's better for player safety, or, you know, you don't have to run as far, or
baseball is the only sport that ever does this. The NFL never comes along and says, this year the field is going to be 100.2 yards.
Right.
And do you know why? Because it's stupid.
Look, just another 90 feet, right? That's all we ever talk about in baseball. Station to station baseball, just let's get the next 90 feet. Now you got to go 90 feet, and then you got to go, 13.5 inches less than 90 feet. I'm not doing that math in my head because I don't want to be wrong. And then you got to do another. It's just ridiculous. Really shortening the base paths. I don't care. Move on. Give me pitch clocks. I love the designated hitter thing. I wasn't too wild about the fact that they're bringing back the extra runner and extra innings just for this year again. But it is what it is.
I'm still trapdoors in the outfield. We need a clown. There needs to be a clown somewhere.
Anyway, they're going to experiment with it. It may come up to the majors. We don't know.
Speaking of things I am a big fan of, we are closing in on a tradition like none other. Jim Nance, my favorite Sunday of the year. We pan in to Butler Cabin, and there's Jim Nance. Just, hello, friends. The 2022 Masters is but 10 days away. And there's still one great big question. Is Tiger Woods going to play? He is still listed as one of the competitors in this tournament. Mm-hmm. He played a tournament back in, I think it was December, with his son. It was a father-son tournament where he lost to John Daly and John Daly's kid. John Daly's kid looks exactly how you think he would, and we all look like we could be kin. I think there is a better than zero chance that Tiger Woods is going to find a way to play.
Okay.
The big question now is, can his body withstand 72 holes at Augusta? Apparently he has done 72 holes in 4 days, just not at a course that is as treacherous as Augusta National. And I am low-key sitting back going, please play, please play, please play, please play, please play. That's
Why?
the only thing that can make me want. That's the only thing that can excite me more about this tournament is if Tiger comes back.
Why? You think he's going to be able to come back and be competitive?
I don't care if he comes back and shoots 143.
Just having
with
him there is
no
enough.
fill, I want Tiger here.
Okay.
And look, I was never a Tiger Woods guy. He drove me insane because I can never stand the person that wins all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want the face. Now there are 50 golfers that can win this tournament, and he ain't one of them. But I want him to be there. If for nothing else, just to signal that it's not over. I mean, do I think he's ever going to be a high-level competitive golfer again? No. He's 46 years old. I mean, the chance, and just had a horrific car crash less than a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
The chances of that are astronomically high. But it would be, things have been a little tumultuous in the PGA. With Phil's comments and the Saudi Arabia thing hanging out there, that would be a good way to just tie all this together, even if he comes out and shoots 20 over.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You have that warm fuzzy of Tiger being there, and then you concede the weekend to invariably somebody that you have never heard of that will be competitive into the final round.
I honestly don't believe he would ever do that if he thought there was a chance of that happening. I don't know. Maybe
a chance of shooting 20 over?
Right.
He'll never do that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If Tiger Woods thought that there was a chance that he was going to go out there at the Masters and be just the ceremonial, hood ornament, basically.
Well, he's not going to do that. But, I mean, he's played golf.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that he can be – he can't win, but Jason Trump asked in the comments, could he make the cut? Yeah, he could make the cut. He knows this course better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jack Nicklaus made the cut here into his 50s.
I mean, he just won it 2 years ago? 3 years ago. And
this is my favorite tournament. This is my favorite weekend of the year. This beats the NCAA tournament. This beats the Super Bowl. This beats everything else. And do you know why?
Why?
Because this is 4 solid days of me sitting on my couch and consuming adult beverages early in the morning. And that's what I'm going to do.
And that's what it's all about for you. Just get me to the next
It's the
drink.
only sporting event that's this high level that I can take a nap in the middle of.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's so good.
Look, I can't talk smack about golf anymore. I dig golf, and I don't, that used to be my shtick, and now I can't do it anymore because I love it.
Good. It's so good. And now you've got there is no sport in this country that has more competitive balance than golf. Even NASCAR. And, look, I like NASCAR. There are about 14 guys that can win on any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Could there be a bunch of wrecks and somebody slides in like happened at Daytona? Yes.
Right.
Is that going to happen every week?
No. You look at the averages. It's generally the same guys in the top 12 every week. I feel like the NFL is getting there with all of the great teams that we have.
Not to this level.
Well, I mean, obviously you got a wider field of guys.
It's an individual sport for one.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Not really an apples to apples comparison.
Individual competition, and you got so many, but parity is what you're talking about.
There are guys in this tournament that could end up winning it that you have never heard of.
See, that's the part that brings it down for me.
Oh, it brings it up for me.
Does it?
Oh, yeah. Because one of my low-key, little guilty pleasures is college golf. And I know I'm one of 8 people. We have a support group. We meet on Tuesday. There are cupcakes. It's wonderful. And so I do know who a lot of these guys are. And then see them getting into the field and competing is great for me. And then you got the Dustin Johnsons and the Justin Thomases. And so good.
The roster of...
I was finding a reason to bring this up.
Yeah.
As many commercials as I've seen during the NCAA tournament for this, this was coming up at some point this week, one way or the other.
Right. The roster of guys who can be competitive week in and week out in the PGA is what? Would you say it's like 40 deep?
Oh, no, it's deeper than that.
Really?
I would say it's 150 deep that could be competitive on any given week. There are guys that can't make fields, that do make a field and then play in the final group on Sunday. And it happens about once a month.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
So good. I'm so excited for the
Masters. I can gamble on it. That is also a very important part.
Well, as we know with Jeremy, you can gamble on anything. He's got the picks of the night coming up tonight in Greene on Greene at the end of this hour.
Yikes. Last night.
Again?
And the bad thing is everything went exactly the way I said it would until it didn't. Charlotte Denver went through this big stretch where nobody could score. Nikola Jokic was the best player of the night, exactly like I told you would.
Mm-hmm.
They covered, but they didn't cover the over. It was about a 5-minute stretch where nobody could hit water off a bridge.
You get the Greene on Greene at the end of this hour, and then the 5 on it coming up in the 4 o'clock hour.
And 5 on it, we have a full boat. Don't do these. There are weeks where we don't have one of these. There's one tonight, and I want to go even higher on it than I'm going to.
We haven't talked about any of the over-unders, the futures bets for the NFL on win totals this year in the AFC at any length. And I want to talk about the AFC West because that's the one division where everyone got markedly better except for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the one team that I look at in that division and go, you know what, you still got Patrick Mahomes. We still believe, but you don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. What are you going to do? Juju Smith-Schuster is a fine pickup.
Mm-hmm. You still have 2 picks in the top 64.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs should tell you, their win future should tell you exactly how little people like me and Vegas think somebody like Tyreek Hill matters. They're at 11. There are 2 teams in the NFL that have a higher projection than the Kansas City Chiefs in the toughest division in the NFL. Probably in the toughest division in NFL history. And I don't disagree. I don't disagree in the least. If you told me Kansas City found a way to win this division, it wouldn't shock me even a little bit.
I can't go against Andy Reid, and I can't go against what we've seen from Patrick Mahomes. But I think it's way closer than it ever has been before. Or at least in this stretch, you know.
The one that I'm stuck on in the AFC West is the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders are too low.
8 wins for the Raiders is too low.
That's drunk. Vegas is drunk, and you need to take advantage because over 8 wins.
They're way too good.
Mm-hmm.
And the schedule is not that daunting. I mean, it's not pretty. Don't get me wrong. I believe in Denver way less than everybody else does.
The AFC West ends up with matchups against the NFC West, which obviously is very tough. You got 3 great teams in that division, and
you said
the
2
Seattle
wrong,
Seahawks.
but okay. You said 2 great teams and 1 giant. Well, actually, I'll go 1 great team, 1 giant question mark, and 1 that is super overrated. Cardinals. Have you seen 9? And that's too high.
That's too high for the Cardinals. Okay. But they got the West, the NFC West, and the AFC South.
You get 2 guaranteed wins there.
Yes.
Jacksonville and Houston. This is not going to be fun for you.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to break this to you. There are about 7 teams in the NFL that I'll save you the time of looking at the schedules. They can beat each other and no one else. And that's the Jets, the Jaguars, the Texans, the Lions, the Falcons, the Carolina Panthers. Those and the Bears. I'll throw the Bears in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Those 7 teams can beat each other and no one else. Probably should throw the Giants in there too. You know what? There might be more in this tier than I thought there were.
I think there are several in that tier. There are about 10 teams. I would say about a third of the league where you're just going to be left behind. You really are. And there's, but that's great because I think everybody else is shoved up at the top. Like there's a chasm between the top 20 teams and the bottom 12 teams.
Yes.
Or the top 22 teams and the bottom 10.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. But everybody else is going to be shoved together at the top, and it's going to be amazing playoff race football.
The teams you're going to get incredible value on, and I think there's value in one of them right now. The Miami Dolphins you're going to get incredible value on.
Okay.
At 8.5. That means Vegas thinks they're a 500 team. I think you'll get great value on them right now to go over. If you give that 2 weeks, you'll get even better value on them to go under because that is going to move precipitously.
Yeah. I've got them going under. Under 8.
Really?
Yeah. Under 8.5 for the Miami Dolphins. I've got under 8.5 for the New England Patriots.
I'm just dumbfounded that the Patriots and the Dolphins are at the same spot.
It's Bill.
Bill is one step away from calling me to call plays on that offense.
Mm-hmm. And I refuse. I refuse to take a number on your Jets. It's 5, and I think it's a push.
You're probably right. Because we play a bunch of those Lions, Jaguars teams.
But I also don't like the over for the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East either. 11.5 is too much.
See, I kind of do. I like the over because I think their floor is 13-4. Because I think they are absolutely going to dog every team in their division 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, each team twice, which leads to 6 times.
Now they got to play the Bengals, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Rams all on the road. Those are going to be hella tough games. And
did you just say hella?
Did I?
What are you, 6?
I don't know. You got the Browns and the Titans at home. Those will be tough as well. You can't get a number on the Cleveland Browns right now because nobody knows how many games Deshaun Watson's going to play.
I do think that's funny that they're the only team that you can't find a number on.
Well, because we pretty much know who everybody is at this point, don't we?
Well, Vegas knows they would get demolished on the Browns. They are not good. Did you hear the narrative of what happened with St. Peter's?
No.
So this is what Vegas tries to avoid. St. Peter's played Carolina Sunday in the regional final.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way for Carolina bettors to lose if they placed that in New Jersey. Because there is a rule that New Jersey cannot put a futures number on a school in their own state.
Really?
So there was no way for you to bet St. Peter's. Well, the problem is if you put a future on it, you have to have a winner, which means Carolina, even if they had lost, would still have been the winner because they advanced the furthest of the teams that you could actually put money on. Vegas took a bath. It could have been worse. If St. Peter's had won, they would have taken the biggest bath in the history of gambling.
Really?
Yes. And I don't know how. Like, are there that many people that go, St. Peter's plus a jillion, here's $43. You take that, and then you give me $43 jillion if I'm right. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that. You got Greene on Greene, the picks of the night, coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Runners and walkers from across Western North Carolina will gather in Waynesville on Saturday, April the 2nd to pay tribute to the life of Riley Howell at the Mighty 4-Miler to benefit the Riley Howell Foundation. This 4-mile race goes through Waynesville's scenic neighborhoods and is run in conjunction with the Gateway to the Smokies Half Marathon. Whether you choose 4 miles or 13, we urge you to join us as we celebrate Riley's legacy. Information about both events can be found at gloryhoundevents.com. gloryhoundevents.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia Asheville.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. Globally, about 1,000 plants we depend on for food and products need to be pollinated by animals, including coffee, melons, chocolate, almonds, and even tequila. Help stabilize the declining honeybee population by planting native plants that they rely on for food, habitat, and nesting. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 30 to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works. Call 1-800-435-1899. 1-800-435-1899. 1-800-435-1899. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services, Inc., 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 1492, Oregon DM 80092. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action, not a loan company.
Do you think all premium fuels are the same? Well, your engine doesn't. Shell V-Power Nitro Plus helps keep your engine running like new because it's engineered to defend against 4 main engine threats: gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. So next time, choose Shell's most advanced fuel ever. It's fuel for thought. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline.
DQ presents. Picture this. You stand before the awe-inspiring new signature stack burger menu at DQ and your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? That's 5 taste bud tempting cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef. You peek at the loaded A1 stack burger with 2 premium sauces. Then the flamethrower stack burger with tongue-tingling jalapeno bacon. Then you realize moments like these are exactly why we have the DQ Signature Stack Burger menu. DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
1-3 last night. We're back below 500 for the year. 96, 98, and 5. I got 4 picks for you tonight in the NBA. First, the Utah Jazz are a 1.5-point favorite tonight at the Los Angeles Clippers. This is an overreaction. The Utah Jazz are still a drastically better team, and I don't care where they play this game. LA, it just sticks in my mind. I get that Paul George is back, and I get that things appear to be going much more smoothly. I don't see how this is not 4 or higher for Utah. The one thing that they struggle with, unbelievably, is when somebody can deal with a Vika Zubac. Who does that better than anybody? Rudy Gobert. Give me the Jazz, -1.5. Next, the Chicago Bulls are a 4-point favorite tonight at Washington. Washington packed this season in about 2 months ago. Kristaps Porzingis has been fine. Corey Kispert finally had a game that made him look like he was an NBA first-round pick. But this team is still bad. Chicago coming off a back-to-back last night. That's why the number is so low. It should be drastically higher. They're coming off an ugly loss to the Knicks, and they need this one bad. Give me the Bulls, -4. Finally, the Los Angeles Lakers are a 12-point dog tonight at Dallas. Over-under, 218.5. L.A. plays drastically faster when Russell Westbrook is the impetus of the offense. With LeBron James doubtful, Anthony Davis doubtful, that's exactly how this is going to work. I think that Dallas will struggle with Russell Westbrook. Give me Lakers +12, over 218.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. Money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
Much like Jeremy's bets in the last few days, it stumbles out of the gate, apparently.
Mouth words, memory times. That was fun.
Take all those wagers over to betus.com, betus.com, promo code Sportsocracy. When you use the promo code Sportsocracy and make your deposit, they will give you a 125% deposit bonus. So if you put in 100, they'll give you 125 in free play dollars.
And you can use those free play dollars on the game that I am absolutely positive of that I will give you in the second hour. It's a game that you may or may not know is even happening.
I am absolutely positive that the PhD weight loss program can help you lose weight. If you are like me and you have been overweight for most of your life, there are moments I don't have a memory of when I was ever quote-unquote healthy. The PhD weight loss is helping me get on a track to be healthier. I've lost 50 pounds in 4 months. The greatest results that I have ever had from a lifestyle change.
I have been healthy. The problem is that I couldn't stay healthy. And I had massive sleeping issues. Thanks to PhD, I'm sleeping better than I ever have, and I'm back down to a weight that I haven't seen since high school.
It's rare for me. It's actually, I've never seen 240 pounds on my scale. And I am working my way to it thanks to PhD Weight Loss and their great, nutritious, healthy food. They got 80% of the food that you need to have success on this program. It is provided by PhD Weight Loss. Go to myphdweightloss.com. Book a consultation today. Sit down with a health coach. Talk with Dr. Ashley Lucas. They will inspire you to make a change in your life. myphdweightloss.com. Coming up in the next hour, we'll continue the discussion on the futures bets in the NFL. Win totals being set for all of the teams by DraftKings, and there are some that are a little crazy. There are some that, you can bet the under regardless of how low the number is. We've already given you a couple of those. Overtime changes coming. The owners got together today, and the vote came in. They've decided to change the overtime rules. Problem is, we're only going to get it some of the time. It's only going to be in the playoffs, which I think is I guess it's a step in the right direction. More NFL news and Jeremy's going to be mad about the women's basketball tournament. It's all coming up in the next hour here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little milder for us tomorrow. Rain in Wednesday night and Thursday. Clouds increasing here tonight, cool near 40. Mostly cloudy skies for us on Wednesday with a few peeks of sun possible, but it will be limited. Breezy and milder, low to mid-60s tomorrow afternoon. Rain, rumbles of thunder Wednesday night, upper 50s. More rain Thursday, mainly in the morning. Highs Thursday, up around 70. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex 12-Hour. When you have cough and chest congestion, you need a medicine that's effective and long-lasting. Mucinex DM's bilayer tablet allows for immediate and extended release, relieving both wet and dry coughs and loosening chest congestion for 12 long hours. Grab Mucinex DM, available at Walgreens.
Calling all jokesters, April Fools, and all-around punny people. This week on the free iHeartRadio app, the joke's on you. No, literally, we're handing you the mic to tell us your favorite joke. Just open the free iHeart app and tap 24/7 Comedy Radio. When you're ready for the spotlight, tap the mic, record your joke, and send it. Then listen to Hear Yourself on 24/7 Comedy Radio all day Friday. Plus, we've got thousands of Laugh Out Loud comedy podcasts for you to binge anytime, anywhere. Stop laughing. That was serious.
iHeartRadio. Try great tasting Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health. Those who tried Ensure Max Protein reported feeling more energy in just 2 weeks. For more information, including consumer survey details, please visit Ensure.com.
Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Lakers enter tonight's matchup against the Mavericks, clinging to 10th in the West, up a half game on the Spurs. LA's LeBron James and Anthony Davis listed as doubtful. James has an ankle sprain. Davis has missed the last several weeks with a midfoot sprain. The way things have been going for the Lakers, they should shut down LeBron the rest of this NBA season, believes our Jay Williams.
This team is not going to win a championship. So LeBron James competing at an ultimate high level with a left sore knee that can hinder him, with the left twisted ankle. Now you're going to try to have him come back and play on those injuries and average 40 points in order for you to make the play-in tournament? Focus for what's coming up next, which is the health of LeBron James.
JF Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Lakers Mavericks coverage 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio. A change coming for NFL overtime in the playoffs. Owners today approved a rule proposal that guarantees both teams have a possession. OT in the regular season does stay the same, where a team can win on the opening possession if it scores a touchdown. The Ravens signed Coach John Harbaugh to a 3-year extension. He's under contract with Baltimore through 2025.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. We are the Sportsocracy, seen everywhere on YouTube, as well as heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, coming to you live from the Ingles Studio. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel to get into the chat. But more importantly, to help us decide who is the most overrated band of all time. We're down to the Sweet 16, and today's matchup is COLDPLAY against PHISH. Highly overrated bands both, yet somebody has to move on to the next round. So cast your vote in the chat. Right now, we are sitting at COLDPLAY 59% to PHISH's 41%. I believe that's the way this should go.
They've all been close. All of them that have gotten to this point have been close.
As they should. As they should.
They're
But the
all
Rolling
terrible.
Stones, and the Sun, you guys. and
the Rolling Stones advance!
The Rolling Stones advanced yesterday as one of the most overrated bands of all time, and they will take on the winner of today's matchup between Coldplay and PHISH. Again, Coldplay with the sizable lead, I guess we'll say, at the moment. The NFL owners meeting, and they have made a decision. They took the vote today, and the overtime rules will change, but for the playoffs only. And that's the part of this that I don't like. Have the same overtime rules for the regular season and the postseason. It doesn't make sense. To me, it's like Major League Baseball doing they will only do the extra runner in extra innings in playoff games when it matters the most. Doesn't make sense.
That's why it makes sense to me.
Oh, because those are the games that matter the most.
Because those are the ones that could go on forever. And ever and ever and ever. Nobody wants to see the Lions get another possession when they're tied with the Vikings. Nobody loses their mind in a regular season game.
Mm-hmm.
They lose their mind in the playoffs. That's when this becomes a relevant issue. I've never had the overreaching qualm with the overtime rules. The one thing I've been adamant about, don't do the college thing. As a gambler, I will lose my ever-loving mind if you ever go to that. This is what makes it so hard to wager on college football.
Mm-hmm.
If you wind up in overtime, you rest assured, if you're an under-better, you are doomed.
Yeah, just stop doing those over-unders.
No.
Although, what was it? We had there was a game in the Big Ten. It was a Penn State, Wisconsin. Was that the game that went like 9 overtimes
Nope,
and they only
Penn
scored
State
7
and Illinois.
points? Yeah,
Penn State and Illinois, and I had the over, and it hit.
Barely.
Well, the over was like 34.
But that was
Got there.
That was like the final score, wasn't it?
It was low.
20-17 or something, despite the fact that they went to 9 overtimes because they started doing the 2-point conversions after the first overtime or whatever. No, I've always preferred that method. But I'm a guy who loves scoring. If we're going to go to overtime, make it interesting.
See, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I hate ties. I hate ties, and I hate playoff games that end with one team never seeing the ball. I don't want to see a postseason game decided on a coin toss.
Yeah, so that's the one rule that I wish that they would institute is just no ties.
In the playoffs, in the last, I can't remember how many years it was. I think it was DraftKings that put this stat out. The last 12 overtime games in playoffs, in the playoffs, the team that won the coin toss won the game. That's a stat that cannot be allowed to continue.
10 out of the last 12.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. 10 out of the last 12, whoever won the coin flip won the game. 7 out of those 12 times it happened on the first possession. So you no chance for the other team to possess the ball, all of that. I understand the qualms with that. I've seen people calling this the Josh Allen rule.
And that's fine. You call it whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
This is a win. This is a win as people that literally live broadcast the 2 best playoff games of this playoffs. I was so deflated at the end of both of them.
But it's not done for me. I need more. I need this in the regular season.
Why?
Because
Name me the regular season game that you were up in arms about.
The game
that you were up in arms that a team won the coin toss, that went down the field and scored. Name it.
I don't care.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the
I
whole
don't
point.
care about the other one. I'm just saying if you're going to do it in the playoffs, do it in the regular season.
I actually like it better this way because it precludes the extended misery that would be the Lions and the Jaguars. Well, the Lions scored on their first possession. Now the Jaguars get the ball.
Yep.
Let's do more of this.
Yep.
No, I'm good.
Because that's what makes games good.
I'm good. I'll pass. Now in the playoffs, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the NFL does better than any sport. Oh, problem? We're not going to talk about this for 8 years. We're just going to fix it. Because it had been a hang-up. It had never been this big of a hang-up where you look at it and go, if Buffalo had gotten the ball first, they would have won.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. There is zero doubt in my mind that's how that would have gone. So now the problem has manifested itself. Well, owners will congregate. We'll fix it. And they did.
Yeah. It still missed the mark for me. Continuity. I'm all about continuity.
But the thing you can't explain to me is why. I want it to always be the same way.
Yeah, why is it?
Because the game can end in a tie in regulation and can't in overtime or in the playoffs.
Shouldn't though, ever.
Why?
You like the fact that you could have two teams to tie.
Do you remember the Lions-Steelers game this past year?
Yeah.
I think we could still be playing that game. If that couldn't tie, we might still be playing that.
No, somebody would have won.
It was
that
in a
game
monsoon, and it needed to be over. People get up in arms about ties, and I really don't understand. It's a very small problem in the NFL. And usually, it's not a game you want to see more of. Can't name you the last time I saw a game end in a tie in the regular season. I went, man, I wish we got more of that.
Right. I just think
I'll be really honest with you. I'll go one step further. I don't think we should play overtime in the regular season.
Oh, just end it in the regulation.
It's done.
That's
you want this to be over?
thing.
You got all the opportunity you want. You got 60 minutes to figure this out. I have zero interest in playing overtime in the regular season of the NFL. And I'm telling you,
because those games don't matter. Because there wasn't a situation where, 2 years ago, we had the Eagles and the Steelers, I think, had the tie game, or the Browns or somebody, and for weeks that was all we could talk about was, remember that tie? The playoff race is going to come down to the tie. Great.
And you had ample opportunity to win it. If you're talking about the game I think you're talking about, one of those teams literally went, nope, we're good with the tie. That's on you.
Oh, they ran the clock out. Yeah,
that's on you. You don't want to do that. Then
that was the
score.
Eagles. That was like the swan song of what was the last coach?
Doug
Peterson. Thank you.
Dougie Doug, the new coach of the Jacksonville Disasters.
Right. I don't know. Just for me, if you're going to do it in one phase of the game, do it in all phases of the game.
Coming from a baseball fan, a guy that literally watched the sport for 40 years, that had different lineups in each respective conference.
I can't change the rules myself.
You had to just figure it out. Like, well, in the playoff, your all-star game decided who had home field advantage in the World Series.
Mm-hmm. Which was the best
and
scenario.
You're screaming for continuity.
Absolutely.
You see how that's maddeningly inconsistent,
it's
right?
It's not maddeningly inconsistent. Because I've always wanted the universal DH. And now we have it.
That is weird to say. If I cared about baseball, I would really be happy about that.
Oh, I'm sure you would.
Don't.
I'm sure you would. But only for football.
I mean, but in Major League Baseball, we had to talk about it for 75 years before you
we can have all of the ties in the NFL regular season.
Because I don't care. And you don't care. If you're being you're being insanely disingenuous here of, okay, what's your solution? You want these games to go on forever?
You have a winner.
Well, that's never going to happen. You can hang that up to the highest extreme. That ain't going to happen. You're not playing more in games that don't matter. When player safety is what everybody in this league is screaming about, that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I could give you 2 examples off the top of my head of games that ended in ties that, please God, end this. and I'll guarantee you, if you could have gotten the coaches at midfield after regulation, they would have gone, we're good with the tie. Please stop this.
Ties
they
are
were
stupid.
Both in monsoons.
Ties are stupid. They only happen in stupid sports.
Okay, then solve it. What is it? Take away your stupid idea of
they
we'll
just solved
play
it.
Until
they just solved it. This is how it happens.
And that carries the game on longer. There is no solution where you're going to play more football. So take away the stupid thoughts of that ain't gonna happen. I mean, it'd be great if we just cut out 8 teams in the league because they're terrible.
You already play overtime, though.
I'm well aware of that. You're not playing more. There's no more. That solution is not happening. That's like wishing you were 6 inches taller.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do about it. So give me a solution that makes any form of sense. Because you get into the college rule in no time.
Mm-hmm.
Of, well, we'll just give you the ball at the 2 and you can do that. Or force you to go for 2 or some just ignorant idea like that.
Guaranteed possession in overtime shouldn't be that hard.
It carries the game out longer in the regular season where it does not matter. This is a concession. This is how collective bargaining worked because the players' union is probably completely against this. They're fine in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. These games matter, and there has to be a resolve. I will not in any way be shocked if you stop playing overtime in the NFL. That's probably the next thing that happens. You've basically already cut out the kickoff. I mean, I got 500 players graded in this next draft. Do you know how many of them I even acknowledged they were kick returners?
Mm-hmm.
3. Because who cares? It just doesn't matter. Now, if you can return a punt, you have a little bit of value.
Yeah.
Name me the best kick returner in the NFL right now. There you go.
I have no
idea. That's kind of my point. Gunnar Olszewski would probably have been my...
Jakeem Grant.
He's up there.
Right.
But it's completely irrelevant. Why? Because it made the game more dangerous, and eventually you got leverage, and you gave that up. So now there's the kickoff is completely irrelevant.
Right.
So you're not going to carry this into, well, now we can play 2 overtime periods in regular. No, you're not. You're never doing that ever, 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 ever. You have jumped that shark.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as lawsuits started happening, that was not happening. So you can want anything you want to, that ain't going to happen. But there is no convenient solution to it in the regular season. That's my argument to, well, why are you not doing it in the regular season? Okay, because that could carry this game longer and would increase the number of ties.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets the ball. There's an entire possibility that you're going to have 2 drives that take 6 to 7 minutes. The other team's going to get the ball back with 2.5 minutes left and tie. Well, if you do that in the playoffs, well, we just keep going. You're not going to keep going in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just keep going until somebody else scores.
Which could be forever. There is no more. This is. I'm going to do you like.
There is no more.
I'm going to do you like a lot of people do children. Okay, you can want anything you want to. I'm going to give you the basis of. I promise you, I will bet you my life or my ability to have fun for the rest of my life. They're not going to carry regular season games any longer.
Mm-hmm.
There is no shot you play more than 70 games. You've already cut 5 minutes off overtime.
Yep.
Which, by the way, nobody noticed and nobody cared. Name me the year that happened.
Was it 2017?
Bingo. It's 2018. Nobody noticed and nobody cared. And if you stopped doing it, guess what? Nobody would care.
Nobody would care if there was
nobody would care. Nobody would care.
Would care.
No one would care.
Yes,
you know
they
why?
would.
Because teams that really cared would win in regulation.
Okay.
Pull up every tie. First of all, it's happened like 6 times in 10 years.
No more playing for overtime. You're just forced now if you get the ball back with 40 seconds to go in the game, just taking your shots. And
Kansas City did it.
Bad luck for you.
Kansas City did it. Watched them do it to force overtime with 14 seconds left. At this point, this is such an offensive league. If you want to score, you can score.
Right.
Now, if you don't have the ability to do it, that's on you. Sorry, Jets, Lions, Jaguars, Texans.
I'm completely out on any situation that gives us more ties in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just genuinely do not care.
As a wagerer, that doesn't affect you
Don't care.
At
It has
all.
nothing to do with wagering. Nothing. As a matter of fact, I hate overtime for that purpose. If I had $1 for every time I've had an under that carried the over because we went to overtime, I would probably be a millionaire.
Okay. Look, I get people are upset. Patrick Holt, I know you're a big soccer fan, but to me, again, that's what makes soccer stupid. And hockey. Ties are un-American. I don't like them. You play to win the game. Your damn coach said it.
That I absolutely despised. My coach that I absolutely despised and was a laughing stock.
It does not matter. He is no truer words have ever been spoken. That is
and
the
you have
point
60
of
minutes
sports.
to play to win it. I genuinely could not care less. As a matter of fact, I got happy when I saw that didn't, because that was my fear, is that you're going to manipulate this overtime thing into something that it should never be.
One more possession is just too much.
Because it's not one more possession, because if you score, now you're sitting here doing the same thing, but now you're in the exact same position you were before. I have zero interest in watching more mediocre football. None. Now, more postseason? Absolutely. I will give you every opportunity to win a game in the postseason because those games were great. I don't in any way need more New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles tied at 13 at the end of regulation. Go home. You're drunk, and now so am I because I just spent 60 minutes watching you do this.
You get a regular season matchup between two great teams. Say you got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they play this year. And they're going score for score, and it's 38-38 at the end of regulation. You don't care. You don't want to see overtime.
Don't care. Win it. And if you're scoring that regularly, end it. You had a shot to, I promise you. But I mean, we can put a pin in this. So the next time that you have a regular season game, I'm so upset that then I'll go, okay, maybe you had a point. I don't have one of those in the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of them in overtime, though. Or in the playoffs, excuse me.
In the playoffs. All right, the playoff overtime rules will change. Each team will get a possession, regardless of what happens. There's none of this going for two or forcing a team to go for two to end the game. They basically just took, I think this was the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills, weren't they the one that put out this?
The rule change?
This
no,
rule
the
change.
Eagles and the Titans.
Oh, okay. The Eagles and the Titans. Again, only for playoff games, which seems ridiculous. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little milder for us tomorrow. Rain in Wednesday night and Thursday. Clouds increasing here tonight, cool near 40. Mostly cloudy skies for us on Wednesday with a few peaks of sun possible, but it will be limited. Breezy and milder, low to mid-60s tomorrow afternoon. Rain, rumbles of thunder Wednesday night, upper 50s. More rain Thursday, mainly in the morning. Highs Thursday, up around 70. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 40 eastbound Haywood County stop and go between Newfound Road and Georges Branch Road. Near Canton and Newfound Road, an accident has the left lane closed. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road problem-free. Mills Gap Road, no delays. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 18 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex 12-Hour. Mucinex Extended Release Bilayer tablets allow for immediate and extended release, relieving chest congestion for 12 hours. Plus, Mucinex is eligible for any leftover HSA, FSA funds. Look for Mucinex, the #1 OTC brand doctors trust. Available at Target.
Try great tasting Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health. Those who tried Ensure Max Protein reported feeling more energy in just 2 weeks. For more information, including consumer survey details, please visit Ensure.com.
Parenthood. Not a job for the faint of heart. It takes nerves of steel and a pretty strong grip on your senses. So here's to the moms and dads who board this roller coaster for the ride of a lifetime. Ingles. All the ingredients for family.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties Dunkin' Donuts, bag, or K-Cup coffee, $4.98 each. Select sizes and varieties Cheez-It crackers, buy one, get one free. And select Atkins Meal, Keto Bar, or Protein-Rich Shakes, $6.98 each. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
and Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Debbie Childress, Director of the Grayson County Alliance, a food pantry in rural Kentucky. Thanks to a local farmer, we recently received a $2,500 donation from America's Farmers Grow Communities, sponsored by the Monsanto Fund, a philanthropic arm of Bayer. As a result, we expanded a classroom where we teach families about nutrition and personal finance. I encourage all farmers to enroll for a chance to direct a $2,500 donation to a local nonprofit. Visit growcommunities.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Oh, see, this is so soothing.
That is not the word I would use for that.
Coldplay taking on PHISH today in the most overrated bands bracket. We are down to the Sweet 16. You can cast your vote at the YouTube stream. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Hit the subscribe button once you're to the YouTube video, and you can vote. Coldplay still leading 59% to 41% for PHISH.
I forgot that Chris Martin in The Scientist used the word progress, and that is enough for Coldplay to win this. I completely forgot that until just now. Coldplay's the winner.
You hate Chris Martin so much.
I just, there are certain words that really irritate me. Like, just, okay, say it right. Say it right. I'm not asking for much.
Cast your vote in the Sportsocracy YouTube feed. More overrated, is it Coldplay or is it PHISH? The winner of this most overrated bands bracket matchup will go on to the next round to face the Rolling Stones. Still can't believe they made it, but it is what it is.
I'm not in any way shocked.
Well, of course you're not, because you spearhead the I hate all good music bandwagon.
I love good music.
Mr. Creed
Creed's fantastic.
is against the Rolling Stones.
Creed's fantastic. Me and sports freak Mike Morgan, we're both Creed fans. Wonderful.
He's the only, but you are the only person on this planet that believes that they're better than the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I'll hit your bell.
That's fine.
That's all you're looking for it. Anyhow, the NFL, they're changing the overtime rules. We've also had Andy Dalton. He's got a job now. He's going to be the backup in New Orleans to Jameis Winston. So they're bringing Andy Dalton in, and they have said that they are sliding Taysom Hill over to the tight end spot, which is where he belongs.
Well, I mean, the contract tipped that off. When they showed the discrepancy between, well, this is what it would be if he's a quarterback, then he's going to be a tight end.
Mm-hmm. Because we all know he's not a quarterback.
Where he belongs. He's not a quarterback. They gave him the chance. It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you had a great game against the Jets. Well, so did a lot of people. That does not make you special. Now the question is, all right, let's say worst case scenario. Jameis is not fully healed, whatever the case may be. Are the New Orleans Saints a playoff contender with Andrew Dalton?
No.
I disagree with you. And I disagree with you vehemently.
Really?
I do. I think this is New Orleans going, what can we do to ensure that we're one of the best of the bad? Because you talk about that chasm between 20s and the bottom 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing happens in the NFC, and it happens at about 5. I would say New Orleans now is, if I could get a prop on them to make the playoffs, I would do it. I can't find 8 teams in the NFC that are better than them. Plus, you mix in the fact that I think they're going to wind up with a receiver at 18, the left tackle replacement at 49, I believe is their second round pick.
Okay.
That's another one. I wish I could. That's one thing that I really wish somebody would get on is I need a draft prop where I can play the game of this player with this team and get exponential odds because I would take it with Tyler Smith to the Saints.
I would take all teams in the NFC West over the Saints with Andy Dalton as the quarterback. Obviously, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the South Division. I would take the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles over them. To me, they would not be a playoff team with Andy Dalton. I mean, they'd be close. They'd be in that mix with maybe the Washington football team, or if the Giants can figure out what they're doing on their offensive line and maybe make something happen.
Still Daniel Jones. I'm out. I'm out on the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out on the Commanders, the Lions, the Bears, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks. It's 8.
They
That's
are
8
not,
teams.
the New Orleans Saints with Andy Dalton are not better than the Cardinals.
Look at those schedules again and then tell me that.
Okay.
Look at those schedules again and then tell me that you'd be really willing to bet your house the Cardinals are going to win more games. I have long said I think the Cardinals are a no pun intended deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the year last year, every team in the NFL seemed to figure out, Kyler, all you have to do is send pressure up the middle. There's no way to beat it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got the malcontent thing, and now you don't have Christian Kirk, so you don't legitimately have a second receiver, and everybody's getting more expensive, and the team's getting worse on the outside. I don't love the Cardinals. I loved them before anybody else did, and I will jump off that bandwagon happily.
Abandoning ship.
They were embarrassed by practically every playoff team they played in the last month of the season in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good. The Saints are still going to play high-level defense.
Yeah.
All right, you lost to Ron Armstead. Okay. Well, you didn't have him for half of most of those seasons anyway. And you lost Marcus Williams, and you replaced him with Marcus May.
Mm-hmm.
So how is this team drastically worse? With what they've done at quarterback. I thought they were going to tap and just, Taysom
Hill.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
I didn't ever think that was going to happen.
And now you'll have probably Jamison Williams on the outside with Troutman, who you took a couple years ago, and Michael Thomas coming back. How is that team not better than they were last year?
With Andy Dalton.
Or Jameis Winston or whoever. I care less who it is. The difference between Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston is just barely anything.
Oh, I don't know that I agree with that.
Well, I hate to go Ben Shapiro here, but facts don't care about your feelings. Statistically, they are literally the same guy, and Jameis Winston just turns the ball over more.
How old is Andy Dalton now? He's 38?
30. No,
30.
he's not.
Is he
Andy
not?
Dalton, I think, and I are the same age.
Are you really? See, now I got to.
He came out. I'm 99% sure he was drafted in the 2009 draft. I believe he is 33 or 34 years old.
He's 34.
Yeah, we're the same
34 years old. Okay. I don't know.
There's a really nice line of demarcation there because I can play this game of, did I grade you yes or no? And I knew the answer was no on Andy Dalton, but it was real close.
Yeah, I know Jameis Winston is still capable of putting up huge numbers. I don't know that Andy Dalton is.
Putting up huge yardage numbers, which I don't care about.
And touchdown numbers. It was the interceptions.
How many playoff wins he got? Oh, okay. And win. How many playoff? I'll go one step further than that.
How many
playoff appearances does he have?
None.
There you go. It's 0, and Andy does. Andy still. The Andy Dalton hatred is just really comical to me.
Okay, why?
Compare him to a quarterback in this league. Andy Dalton, talent-wise, is blank. Because if you think there is a huge difference between him and Jameis Winston, I think you're out of your mind. Jameis Winston is the greatest turnover machine I have ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
He takes great and well-designed plays and then just mind-boggling decision.
Sure.
Yeah, I would rather have the guy that doesn't really turn the ball over. Does he push the ball down the field? No. But he doesn't turn it over.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Johnson corrected me. It was the 2010 draft. That was the last one before I started doing this. So I knew it was one of those. It was just closer even than I thought it was.
There you go. Yeah, I have lost all hope that Andy Dalton can still be a thing in the NFL. He's a fine backup.
Because of what? Because of his year with the Chicago Bears, who had me playing receiver?
No,
that's what soured you?
No, it was the last year. Maybe he was in Cincinnati.
Oh, you mean when they made the playoffs?
And what did they do? Nothing.
Well, actually, they didn't make the playoffs. They had a. Did they make the playoffs off that or get knocked out of the playoffs?
I don't know.
I think it was knocked out of the playoffs, and that was in Josh Allen's second year because I remember Cincinnati fans contributed a lot of money to his charity.
I just know Cincinnati up until this past year has never been worth betting on when it comes to playoff football. And you can take that all the way back to the 1980s, the last time they won
I'm
the
still
Super
waiting
Bowl.
on you to tell me when Jameis Winston was. When was he
Jameis
ever
Winston.
even reasonably good? There comes a time with every young quarterback where you have to go, you are what I've seen you be.
Mm-hmm.
I see no discernible difference between the two.
Okay.
Well, Jameis can throw for 400 yards. Yeah, he can throw for 6 interceptions, too. I've never seen Andy Dalton do that. I've seen Jameis Winston throw 5, and he had a perfect opportunity to throw 2 more.
Right. Okay.
There's a revisionist history with Jameis Winston that's just comical to me. Because you can't stand Marcus Mariota. Like, you think Atlanta is just dog water. They're going to go 1-16.
Sure.
You really think there's a big difference between Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston?
100%.
I don't.
In their arm talent, I think there's 100% difference.
Okay. I will see your arm talent, and I will go mental capacity for the win. Because discerning a football field, I swear to you, Jameis Winston, if I didn't know he was blind, I could watch him play and go, he was blind.
He was blind.
He was either blind or he had money on this on the other side. By the way, historically, win-loss record. Jameis Winston, 33-44. Andy Dalton, 77-69. One of those is drastically better than the other. And if you're about to tell me one had better talent, I will see your Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, and raise it with Tyler Boyd. A.J. Greene. That's end of message. Sorry to go sitting president on you, but those two are end of message. That was all he ever
They
had.
are end of message. I don't have any faith in Andy Dalton, and I think if they were left with Andy Dalton as their option, should, God forbid, something happen to Jameis Winston, they're not going to be a playoff team. That's how we got started on this. Jeez, that was a rabbit hole. Where's our rabbit? I thought we were getting a rabbit.
I haven't figured out how to make the rabbit. I've got a rabbit, but I can't make it hop. It's not.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out
really
the animations for our YouTube stream.
I have one, but he just kind of peeks his head out. And
that's not enough.
No,
I
I
want
need
one
it to
bouncing
bounce.
across the screen, jumping into the rabbit hole, because, I mean, that's just what we do. We're all about rabbit holes here in the Sportsocracy. All right, Jeremy, you ready to get weird?
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Okay, are you a Wordle player, Jeremy?
Oh, what?
A Wordle
Wasn't he
player.
a turtle? Isn't that a Dr. Seuss book? Wordle the turtle?
Wordle the turtle? Wordle.
What is Wordle?
It's the New York Times word game that everybody's playing on the front. So you go on Twitter a lot. You see the little graphics that people post out that have got the little colored yellow and green colored boxes. And they're in
with the
different
little bubbles, and they're different colors.
Yeah,
I've never known what that was.
No, apparently it's from this Wordle game, and so you gotta figure it out which ones are which. What the words are, solve the word puzzle, and a recent study by Word Finder X, a reference website for word games like Wordle and Scrabble, which used Google Trends data to determine that Google searches for the answer to Wordle's daily puzzle have nearly tripled ever since the New York Times acquired Wordle in January. Study found that searches for February 15th's Aroma and February 19th's Swill daily Wordle solutions reached 100 out of 100 on Google's search popularity scale, which compares search results on a topic and then rates them on a scale of 0 to 100. So it's like the most searched thing of the day. Told this story just to tell you, all those people who think oh, he's so smart playing Wordle, you're cheating, and we all know it.
I'm going to regret asking this question.
Yeah.
How do you cheat at Wordle?
I just told you, they're searching it. They're searching it on Google to find the day's answers and then putting it in the game. And then you score more points than your opponents, and that's how you rank high on the list.
That game's making my head hurt, and I don't even. And
you ain't even played it.
And I don't even have 10% of an understanding of what it is. But now, when I see your little bubbles with the yellow circle, and that, I'm going to judge you.
Yeah,
you're asking for answers on a word game that I don't understand.
Right.
Now, I will say, you remember Words with Friends?
Yep.
I know people I played that with cheated because I was very good at that game. And I played with some people in my social circle that, let's be real honest, they're not rocket surgeons. And they were dragging me down the sidewalk, and I'm looking at my phone going, you can't put a sentence together. How are you destroying me in this word? Oh. You're a cheater.
Wow. You think they're just, putting in the letters, and is there an app for that? You can put the letters in and unscramble them to find the biggest word you can use?
Yeah, that's why Words with Friends kind of died, because people realized, all I have to do is type in my letters and the exposed letters, and it'll tell me what I can play. Cheaters never prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you who does prosper, though. Chick-fil-A.
Yeah?
Chick-fil-A.
It's God's chicken.
Oh, it's wonderful. It just tastes like pure happiness. And now they're taking the remnants of some of that happiness and turning it into a positive. They're partnering up with Darling Industries to turn their used cooking oil into clean-burning renewable biofuel. So basically what they will do is when the restaurants change their greases, they will take it to this place, and they will turn it into biofuel to power cars. Now, here's my question. Does it smell like Chick-fil-A chicken? So when I fuel up my car with this Chick-fil-A happy chicken fuel, does my car then smell like pickles and chicken? Because if it does, I will convert to a hybrid right now. How do we not have a Chick-fil-A air freshener?
Yeah, I don't know.
I want that smell around me at all times. I had a Chick-fil-A chicken salad for lunch.
I just don't feel like that's. I don't feel like that's a thing that you can capture in a bottle.
Oh,
I mean, like,
can.
Okay, maybe. I mean, to me, it looked like things like candy. So, like, I know you hate. I know you hate bananas, Jeremy.
Ugh.
But bananas and banana flavored candy are nothing alike.
All awful.
I like them both, but you can't really capture the taste of the banana in a candy. Or I've never seen it done.
Bad. You make one bad,
so I feel
make
like
it almost as bad as its real life predecessor.
I feel like if you tried to encapsulate the aroma of chicken of Chick-fil-A, you would screw it up and create some new scent that would be just awful, like a cheap knockoff, and I don't like that.
I will also say their spicy Southwest salad, which is PhD approved, by the way, phenomenal.
It is
phenomenal. You put corn in a salad,
game over.
Win. You have won this game. We're done playing.
Okay. Game over. Jeremy's all about putting corn in his salads. Interesting. Good to know.
I made a corn side dish over Thanksgiving. Corn and pickles. It's two things that have been bouncing around in my head for like 4 months now.
You might be pregnant.
I'm telling you. I'm getting more scared. If I didn't know that was anatomically impossible, I would be terrified right now. I still don't like ice cream, though. So that was the cravings with my children. Pickles and ice cream.
Pickles and ice cream.
I still don't like ice cream.
Interesting. All right. Were there other surprises to you in the futures release by DraftKings? Talking about the NFL schedule.
I feel like the Colts are low.
The over-under on wins for the season for the Indianapolis Colts is at 9.5.
And I feel like that's low.
I do too.
I mean, you're playing in a really bad division. Look, I understand you're in the AFC, so that schedule is going to be daunting. It's going to be tough to go into Indianapolis and beat them. I don't care who you are.
Well, I mean, it's something that the Chargers and the Chiefs, obviously the Titans, are going to have to do. Other than that, Indianapolis should win all of their home games besides those three. Jaguars, Texans, Eagles, Washington, and the Steelers.
And that last one is less obvious than you think.
Yeah, but if you had to put it out right now, you had to put a line on it right now, Indianapolis is the no-doubt favorite,
Indianapolis minus 4.5 at home.
Okay. See, you put it over a field goal, I feel like that's one that we can chalk up as you'd be expected to win.
But see, that's where I start doing comparisons. Like I look at the Colts at 9.5 and the Cardinals at 9. Those two teams are nowhere near each other to me. I feel like if those two teams played, 9 times out of 10, Indianapolis would win.
Okay. I feel like
Bengals,
it's a little more evenly split.
The Bengals at 10. That's a better split to me. I feel like Indianapolis and Cincinnati. Cincinnati probably wins 6 out of 10 times.
Okay.
Cincinnati was one of the ones I was the most interested in seeing what their number was because I thought it was going to be inflated.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, it's perfect. That's one they hit on the nose. And one that I will avoid like grim death until it moves.
Until it moves. The Tennessee Titans, they're 9.5 as well, and I feel like that's low.
Well, Tennessee, you've got to understand they're being really cautious because there has been the Tyreek Hill deal and Devontae Adams have changed the market precipitously because now you've got 3 receivers that are waiting on new deals, specifically DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, and Deebo Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be shocked if 2 of those 3 players are moved before we play another game.
So I've heard a lot about DK Metcalf possibly going to the Green Bay Packers, that the Packers would be all in on making that deal work, which obviously they would be. A.J. Brown, I don't know. I mean, the team's trying to float out there that we're having the discussions about a long-term extension and all of that, and maybe those discussions are going well.
They're not. They're not. Because all these teams are looking at receivers going, we're going to have to pay them $25 million.
Mm-hmm.
And this started with Christian Kirk. All right, Christian Kirk gets $21 million a year, and we all lose our minds and go, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then Tyreek Hill got 30. And Devontae Adams got a ridiculous deal. It's not. I'm not saying it's too much money.
It's 28, I think, wasn't it?
It's not that it's too much money. It's just that there are so many receivers out there that it's really easy if you have the quarterback to replace them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are a slew of teams that don't have necessarily the quarterback that would be willing to pay that and give up draft capital. I've heard A.J. Brown to the Jets. I've heard nothing about Debo's the one I've heard nothing about. San Francisco seems to be like, well, we're going to bite the bullet and pay it.
So just A.J. Brown goes to the New York Jets, and now he's on the team with everybody he's ever played with.
Yes, it would be Ole Miss, the greatest Ole Miss reunion ever. Hey, and you know what? Bring DK Metcalf too, because they played together in college.
I was going to say, well, he would reunite with Corey Davis as well, who he played with the Titans with. So it would be all of his teammates.
I will say I find it funny that at one time Ole Miss had DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, and Elijah Moore, and still couldn't play dead in a Western on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there. One of those things I think I'm going to keep saying until they all retire.
But imagine that team. Imagine those guys if Lane Kiffin had been in town at the time. Now that.
Well, I mean, they had Hugh Freeze, so it wasn't exactly like they had. It's like they were bereft of offense.
No. Never had the quarterback though.
No.
If you could have landed that one good quarterback.
There is where I was headed with this though is that there is a rising belief that the Tyreek Hill deal, which is the hardest phrase in the English language to say, it may spark more movement before the draft.
Mm-hmm.
We got a month before the draft, and there are a lot of names being floated. And look, nothing may come of it, but there are a lot of teams looking at this draft going, it's really good. Like the compensation, what would you put the compensation at for A.J. Brown? I have this on really good authority that a team's already offered it.
It'd be 2 1s.
You're not even close. You're not even in the ballpark.
2 3s.
You're not even. As a matter of fact, you made it worse as I said that. It's a 3rd rounder this year and a 1 next year.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. You still have to pay him $30 million.
Okay.
That was the thing that blew my mind with Tyreek Hill. You give him all that. You're getting ready to give him all that money, and you give up 5 draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I can't be on board with this. A.J. Brown is an elite receiver. So is Deebo. So is DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
Now, DK's a little higher than A.J. Brown because he's less scheme-specific. But that's about the belief that it will be a high 3 this year and a future 1 or a 1 next year that will probably be reasonably good. And you can probably deduce what team it is that's offering it based on who's saying it and where those picks fall.
I mean, he's going to be worth the money, I feel like. And for that kind of draft capital, I don't know that it would be worth it. Although you're going to lose him for nothing if you don't trade him. So,
and that's the fear is that you can recoup picks. And it's the funny part of the haves and the have-nots. All right, so you have these teams that have never been able to develop the talent, the Raiders and the Dolphins, that went out and got ready-made products and then gave them a bajillion dollars. in spite of the fact you had to give up draft capital too. When you don't have the quarterback, you're kind of forced to do that. When you do, the Kansas City Chiefs believe that they can have me playing wide receiver and nothing's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
They fully believe that. They're planning on taking 2 receivers in their first 5 picks, which are in the top. I think the third one's at right around 100. They believe we can add 2 receivers there with Juju, McCall Hardman. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're fine. We won't miss a beat without Tyreek Hill. And Vegas agrees with me.
And Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, I didn't leave him out.
His
name was on my
threat.
screen. I just didn't care.
They're trying to pump him up as the deep ball threat. Mm-hmm. He can't catch. You do know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't catch it from Aaron Rodgers. Not sure Patrick Mahomes is going to be that drastic of a difference for MVS in Kansas City. There was news today that the Kansas City Chiefs could be moving to Kansas, and nobody cares.
Woo.
I get Kansas City fans are going to care. Moving out of Arrowhead would be bad, but, it's a new day in the NFL. You're always looking for new digs all around. Time to put 5 on it, Jeremy.
I've got an absolute banger of a pick tonight. In the NIT, I'll give you the first one that I gave in the first hour. I'm taking Utah -1.5 against the LA Clippers. I got 50 on it. This is a ridiculous line. I mean, ridiculous line. I can't figure out what anybody's seeing that would make this not more than a 1-possession game. I got 50 on it. Utah -1.5. I got 25 on it. Washington State money line against Texas A&M. I'm not super confident in this, but there's one stat that sticks out to me. Washington State's one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, and Texas A&M can't rebound. That's the only thing that swayed me on this. I really like betting NIT games.
Right.
Now, the one that you've been waiting for, the Xavier Musketeers are a 1.5-point dog tonight against St. Bonaventure, and that's stupid. And let me tell you why. How many players does St. Bonaventure's play? Total.
I don't know. 9.
6. They have the shortest bench in the country. They play 6 players. What does Xavier do? Top 10 in the nation. Get to the free throw line. When you only have 6 players, somebody's going to get in foul trouble when you play against a team that plays like this. And this number is stupid. Look, I get Xavier had a really ugly portion of the year. They played really well in this tournament. And the firing of their coach, which happened after the first round of this tournament, which is still mind-boggling to me. This is the better team. This sets up nicely. I got 100 on it. Xavier Musketeers plus the 1.5.
Putting a hundy down on the NIT.
I'm telling you, that is one of my favorite bets of the year. That's one of those dirty little gambler secrets. One of the great equalizers is when you have to start playing players that don't play. St. Bonaventure started the year with 8 or 9 guys in the rotation. 1 got hurt, and 2 have just been completely cut out. Now, in the NIT semifinals, you're going to have to turn to that guy because somebody's going to get in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, here's the other thing I didn't tell you. I've already checked the official matchup. It's 2 of the whistle-happiest officials in all of college basketball. This sets up so bad for St. Bonaventure.
Well, let's go Musketeers then.
I swear, and they call it gambling for a reason. So there's a possibility that St. Bonaventure manages to win this game. I genuinely think it's going to need they're going to need holy water for that to happen. Because this is one of the worst setups I've ever seen in a college basketball game.
He's been doing pretty well with the 5 on it. You're up $332 and some change on the year.
I went 2-1 last night. I absolutely love those nights. I go off the board and I forget the third one, and I get in here and I'm like, hey, I won money.
Hey, hopefully we'll be looking at over $1,000 coming in tomorrow in the 5 on it. Take those wagers over to betus.com. The website is betus.com. Promo code Sportsocracy will get you a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into your account, up to $2,500. Sportsocracy is the promo code at betus.com. This is a topic that I didn't think I'd ever hear you talk about, Jeremy, but he is hopping mad about one thing in the women's NCAA tournament. We'll get mad up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go in Haywood County 40 eastbound between Newfound Road and Georges Branch Road. An accident at Newfound Road has the left lane closed. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume busy and steady, especially on the westbound side. 26 westbound delays after the French Broad River to Brevard Road. On Hendersonville Road, no delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex 12 Hour. Mucinex Extended Release Bilayer tablets allow for immediate and extended release, relieving chest congestion for 12 hours. Plus, Mucinex is eligible for any leftover HSA, FSA funds. Look for Mucinex, the #1 OTC brand doctors trust. Available at Target.
News is happening now.
Look at what's making headlines around the world.
And this is a significant moment.
Whenever it happens, wherever you are, NBC News is streaming free on NBC News Now.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-391-2258. That's 800-391-2258. 800-391-2258.
Everyone has a style, and Macy's is here to help you own yours. Get an extra 30% off the best brands and top designers with your coupon or Macy's card. Plus 15% off spring's go-to beauty, skincare, and fragrances. And Macy's Star Rewards members can earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up today at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off regular, sale, and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Debbie Childress, Director of the Grayson County Alliance, a food pantry in rural Kentucky. Thanks to a local farmer, we recently received a $2,500 donation from America's Farmers Grow Communities, sponsored by the Monsanto Fund, a philanthropic arm of Bayer. As a result, we expanded a classroom where we teach families about nutrition and personal finance. I encourage all farmers to enroll for a chance to direct a $2,500 donation to a local nonprofit. Visit growcommunities.com.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Dirty Perky Shark back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Shark back flat. Good. Let the hate flow through you.
You know, this is a topic we don't talk about a lot on this show, but last night there was a tremendous game in the end of the Elite Eight in the women's college basketball tournament. And it's not the game that I'm mad about. What I'm mad about is that NC State seems to be catching a lot of the ire of the NCAA. You obviously had the College Baseball World Series where, let's be really nice here and say the NCAA didn't do them any favors. Then last night they play UConn. And that would be daunting enough to have to play a team that's been to 14 Final Fours in a row, except for the fact you're playing in their backyard as the better of the two teams. They made you the one and then made you play in their backyard.
Yeah.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I know why you did it. Nobody wants to say this, but you did it to ensure ticket sales. Because the closer you keep Connecticut and the reigning player of the year to home, the more likely you are to sell out this arena. I get that. But you did it at the expense of a really good team that deserved drastically better. And when you add that to all of the other things that have happened to NC State over the course of the last, I'll be nice and say 18 months, it kind of leads you to go, I'd be rather upset if I was NC State because I kind of feel like I'm catching it from the NCAA. I'm mad.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We got 7-round mock draft post free agencies, team by team, coming out immediately after this on the YouTube stream.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A little milder for us tomorrow. Rain and Wednesday night and Thursday. Clouds increasing here tonight, cool near 40. Mostly cloudy skies for us on Wednesday with a few peaks of sun possible, but it will be limited. Breezy and milder, low to mid-60s tomorrow afternoon. Rain, rumbles of thunder Wednesday night, upper 50s.